Hey, it's me again. Boy, I'm telling you. You have a little bit of a weekend. I wasn't here yesterday. I was out doing work, and I guess you got to get in the swing of things. Thank you. I'm sorry. When you do live, it's live. And yes, I could have, which I did, bring the mic back in, bring the mic in where it should be, and you'd say, "Oh, that sounds better." Well, as I'm talking, I'm saying, "Wait a minute, something's not right here." Well, come on, it's right in front of me. Jeez. All right, let's start again. There was a movie many years ago called Cocoon. And not that I remember everything about everything, but there was a gentleman that was trying to say to the elderly people, and as we get elderly, I'll be the first one to admit, sometimes you're not like you used to be. I'm 75. I try every day. My memory's pretty good, but I do admit, too often when I go to tell somebody something, I forget my train of thought. And I've always done that, but not as much lately. So, maybe you need to write things down. But anyway, okay, today, I do animals, and it was one of those things where today I want something kind of different, a place that no one knows about, that they have animals that you're not familiar with. And as this Cocoon would say, taking people to another planet. If you go with me, when you get there, A, you will never age, you will not die, and you will have a great life. And it was very interesting that this person was all for going. But a lot of the people, even though they were kind of not in good health, you might say, well, gee, that Joe or Sue, if anybody goes, they should. Because it would be where, well, they don't have too much longer to live. But you have a chance to go someplace where you will live forever. And you won't get old or any older than you are. Who wouldn't do that? So today, this is my Cocoon location. And it is called the Isle of Forgotten Tides. Now, as you know, a tide, and I used to deal with it when I was a kid and I had a boat. Every 6 hours, you go from low tide to high tide, and then it starts all over again. And you also have what we call moon, high tides, and that was when you were in your boat with the highest tide it could be. It was just absolutely beautiful. And I still fondly remember my going through one little passage that when it was high tide, it seemed like you were going very fast, but it was great. So, okay. Imagine an island that sits far off the main shipping lanes, hidden beyond a misty veil of sea fog where no modern map marks its place. Its name, known only in whispers by ancient sailors, is an Isle of the Forgotten Tides. The island remains a mystery to the outside world. Its existence passed down in oral histories of remote coastal communities, but never formally recorded. And that, as a little aside, and you're probably saying, Jim, you're ruining it. If you remember Mutiny on the Bounty, and, they, of course, performed the mutiny and took over a ship, they said, we're in trouble. they'd been at Tahiti and they found some wonderful people and they brought them on the ship and some, I think, special plants. But they realized the British Crown would hunt them forever. So they headed out looking for an island that no one would find. And that was Pitcairn Island. And to this day, we know where it is. And there are descendants of the mutinous crew and the nice ladies that they brought from Tahiti. So that in itself is a pretty cool place. Upon arrival, the landscape is a strange blend of familiar and the alien. Towering cliffs of dark basalt encircle much of the coast, with crashing waves carving deep grooves in the rock. Dense emerald green forests fill the interior, their trees twisted into shapes not seen anywhere else on Earth. And in the center of the island stands a mountain. And you can see it hopefully in the picture, where the peak is shrouded in perpetual cloud cover, giving it an otherworldly aura. The creatures here are equally peculiar. Strange luminescent birds glide through the canopy, their calls echoing like forgotten melodies. At night, the bioluminescent plants glow softly along the forest floor, lighting the way for the island's nocturnal inhabitants. Obviously, those that only come out at night. It's a secret island, not a lot of light. At night, it's even darker. And the animals develop and you'll see when I get into them, why they are the way they are. Anyway, these creatures with glowing eyes and silent movements like spirits wandering the earth. Legends say that time flows differently on the island. Those who find themselves stranded there often lose track of the days, weeks, and years, unsure if there have ever been a lifetime, could have been just an afternoon. So there's no track of time. And boy, wouldn't that be kind of neat? I know you might get a little bored, but we're always a lot of times on the time schedule. Some claim that the island is a place where lost things wash ashore. So anything that gets lost anywhere gets there. Ships, lost memories, even people who the world has long forgotten. And we never want anybody to be forgotten. Few ever leave, and those who do are often dismissed as mad upon their return. Their stories of the Isle of the Forgotten Tides relegated to myth. The animals on the Isle of the Forgotten Tides are unlike any found elsewhere in the world, evolving in isolation for millennia. Many have adapted to the island's mysterious nature and time-altering environment, giving them strange and almost mythical qualities. And you'll see as we get into them. Okay, the first one is the phantom hounds. Those creatures resemble large, sleek wolves with coats that shimmers in the moonlight as if woven from the mist itself. Phantom hounds are the island's stealthiest predators, capable of moving without a sound as if they slip between the moments in time. Their eyes glow faintly blue, and some say they can see into the hearts of those they encounter, sensing intentions and fears. Despite their fearsome appearance, they are guardians of the island, only attacking those who wish it harm. That is cool. I mean, I kind of get chills. All right, the next animal, or whatever it is called the glowlings. So you might say the glowlings are coming over for dinner. But anyway, small fox-like creatures with fur that give off a soft, warm light in the dark. Glowlings are curious and intelligent, often following travelers through the forest, leading them to safety or danger depending on their mood. Wow. Now, as an aside, when you're looking for images and you're saying these aren't even real, so and again, I use Leonardo AI, and there's a lot of them, and they're great, but I really enjoy this one. And you just put in this case, growlings, and this came up. So who am I to argue? Anyway, their tails flicker like fireflies, and their laughter sounds like the wind. Local legends claim that they were once the spirits of lost children who found their way to the island and became one with the wilderness. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay, the next one is what we call the chronofalcons. These majestic birds of prey have wings speckled with silver feathers that shimmer as they glide through the skies. The most curious aspect of the chronofalcon is its uncanny ability to manipulate time. Boy, I wish I could do that. They can slow down their perception of the world to make precise, seemingly impossible strikes while hunting. Sailors who spot one circling above often take it as a sign they've entered a place where time doesn't follow the usual rules. And I know there's so much we don't know, and we just take care and think everything is the same it is. Okay, the next one is called the abysmal stag, a massive creature with antlers that seem to be made of solid stone, covered in moss and small glowing crystals. The stag roams the island's deepest forests, rarely seen by human eyes. It is said to be the island's oldest inhabitant, a being tied to the island's very existence. Some say that when the stag sheds its antlers, they fall into the ocean and become the seeds of new islands. Each one an extension of the Isle of the Forgotten Tides. Okay, the next one is the whispering serpents. In the island's swamps and wetlands, long, slender serpents with scales that blend perfectly with the water and mud move silently beneath the surface. These whispering serpents are named for the low sibilant sounds they make, which some believe to be the echoes of ancient voices. They are highly intelligent and territorial, using their whispers to confuse intruders and lure prey into traps. You know, are you familiar, I'm sure, with the saying, time repeats itself, or history repeats itself? It does. And I think we're a little bit unwise in general that we don't recognize that whatever we're going to do in the future has been done not too long ago, millennia ago, and in a lot of cases you had the same results. So if we were smart, we'd say, learn from history and don't keep repeating it. A place like this would have it where it made sure you knew what the past, the present, and the future was going to be. Okay. This is another one called tide claws, aquatic creatures resembling oversized crustaceans with iridescent gem-like shells. Tide claws live in the tidal pools and caverns along the shore. They are scavengers, but also fiercely protective of their territory. Their claws are sharp enough to slice through shipwrecks, and some islanders believe they collect treasures from the wreckage. And they use that to decorate their lairs like underwater hoarders. Wow. If this is millennia and they keep collecting stuff, wow. What would you see if you could go there? All right. This is the ethereal monarch butterfly. And this looks relatively normal. Unlike normal butterflies, the ethereal monarchs have translucent wings that catch the light and create a spectrum of colors, making them appear like floating rainbows. These butterflies are believed to be connected to the island's shifting flow of time. When they gather in swarms, time itself seems to slow down around them, and those caught within that swarm often experience visions of their past or future. And you know, I know some people would say, I don't really want to know the future. I don't know for me. And I kind of understand that because, again, you know, things happen that you certainly don't expect. And if you knew it was going to happen, especially if it's something bad, that would kind of ruin the rest of the time that you have. Okay. This is the twilight elk. Large, graceful creatures with fur that shifts color depending on the time of day, from deep purple in the dusk to pale silver at dawn. Twilight elk are often seen wandering near the edges of the island, grazing in the meadows that overlook the sea. They seem to sense the approach of storms and vanish into the mist before the first raindrops fall. Some say the antlers are used as conduits for magic on the island. And you know, when it's something like this, how can you argue? Okay. All right. This is what we call the mirror fish. These aquatic creatures swim in the water surrounding the island. They have scales that reflect their surface above them, making them nearly invisible from predators. Mirrorfish are rumored to possess the ability to store memories in their reflective scales and island. Inhabitants believe that gazing into the eyes of a mirrorfish can reveal forgotten moments from one's past. That's pretty cool because I actually remember a lot of my childhood, but certainly not everything. And thank goodness. And I know as you get older, you start to worry about dementia and so on and so forth. I'll see something and have a flashback that I might never have had before. And it's like, that's good because you still have a memory. You can remember what you're doing now. You can remember what you did all the time, long time ago. All right, this is, and I think this is my favorite. It's the shadow lynx. The mysterious feline predator has jet black fur and eyes that glow like embers in the night. The shadow lynx is not easily seen as it can blend into the darkness perfectly, becoming nearly invisible to the naked eye. It hunts using stealth, because no one can see it, appearing only as a flicker in the corner of a prey's vision before it strikes. Despite its fearsome appearance, the islanders believe the lynx is a protector of ancient secrets and hidden within the island. These animals, unique to the Isle of the Forgotten Tides, embody the island's strange, timeless nature, blending the boundaries of reality and myth in a place where time itself behaves unpredictably. You know, I have a clock that's right kind of in front of me, and it's, I like it. Love the clock. Brought it from where I lived before. And I know I'm always looking at it. So you always know what time it is. You kind of gauge what you're doing, when you're going to finish. And, you know, it's not that I would want to sit here and not know what time it was. But bottom line, it does make it where you have too much of an emphasis on time. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here for this mystical Isle of the Forgotten Tides. And I didn't make that up. And I didn't make this picture up. But thank you for being here. I hope you're all doing well. Those that are still dealing with a lot of things that have happened in the last 2 to 4 weeks, I hope for the very, very best. But anyway, thank you for being here, and please take care. Thank you again.